Gloves here, and today we're going to be doing Harmony 1 Test 2. So we've covered a lot of material. We've gone over 7th chords, inversions, bass position, all this stuff. So it's time to test you on it, to put it against it. So just a couple notes. You should be able to do this in under an hour and get an A. You shouldn't have very many mistakes, if any. If you struggle to do this in under an hour, then you need to go back and you need to redo old exercises. You need to get fast. Being familiar and quick is a big part of music. This test is also cumulative because all of music stacks on top of each other. If you can't answer questions from the previous section, you have no business moving on to next sections. Go back, learn the material. And then once again, also I justify this by saying this is because in real life, no one is going to ask you about just one topic. No one gives a crap if you can do one piece of music. When they want to know about something else, you need to be able to do it all. And then skipping ahead is only cheating yourself. Don't skip ahead. If you can't do this stuff, be real with yourself. Go back. We want to be genuine about our progression and truly move forward in music. So if you have a hard time with a particular thing we've talked about, maybe it's building a half diminished 7 chords or something, go back, learn it for real. And then you then take the test. Don't take the test and then realize that, because then you've cheated yourself of actually really genuinely attempting to do this test. So be real with yourself. You only cheat yourself if you move ahead. And you'll end up going back anyways because you get stuck at some point. So, okay, with all that being said, let's go ahead. And I'm just going to review with you what I'm sort of looking for. And then I'll let you have at it, and then we'll do the answers in another video. By the way, there is an answer key also. It'll be included in the theory workbook. Download the link in the description below. It is free. So here it is. Construct an E major scale without a key signature. When I say without a key signature, you'll see this a number of times. It means I want you to write in everything using accidentals. So all your sharps and naturals, everything should be written in. Write the ascending part in treble and descending in bass. So write the scale going up here and the scale going down here. This is a review exercise. It should be pretty simple. E major. Okay, now we're constructing a G harmonic minor scale. Again, without a key signature. Going up in the treble, going down in the bass. So pretty simple stuff. Name the following key signatures, listing both major and minor. So on each key signature, for these, you're going to hit Control-T. You select the rest, and you hit Control-T so you can type in your answer, and then you can move the text around to put the answer where it needs to go. But yeah, you have to select the rest. You hit Control-T to type, and you'll be using that. You should be already familiar with this. But anyways, list both the major and parallel minor. So each one of these key signatures could be a parallel minor or major, and you should know that we use a particular minor scale to determine what that minor scale should be because of things we talked about earlier. So I'm not giving you the answers here. I'm just saying when you're thinking, oh, which minor scale do I use? We've talked about this. So, okay, yeah. So you're going to do that. Type those both in there for each one of these key signatures. Some questions, just general questions. What is the name for the 6th scale degree? I am looking for the names of the fancy words. You know how we had like tonic, supertonic, things like that. You're going to be typing in one of those here. For the 6th degree, what is the name of the 2nd degree? And these are, again, review questions. How many notes are in a triad? How many are in a dyad? Which intervals can never be major or minor? Hopefully you guys just breeze through this part. Here I have one that says, show an example of the rule of 9. I should also include why, but I don't. So when I say we've talked about the rule of 9 and what it is, show me an example of the rule of 9 in action. And please explain also why is an example of the rule of 9. Because I didn't write why here, this would be sort of like just if a student was rushing through, they'd be okay. What is the order of sharps? Well, you would write that here. And then what's your favorite chord? This is just a fun one. So mine is probably C minor 7. Currently, I think that's a really cool sounding chord. It's something to think about. Like, hey, what chords do you prefer? What do you think are cool? Stuff like that. It's just one of those fun ones just to get to know people. Thought I'd include one here. Okay, so, and it's also just relax for people who have test stress. Okay, so we have build the following triads in the specified inversion, then change it to the appropriate bass position. So now we're going to test your figure bass or your bass position. They're not the same as the bass position. And I wanted to do it in a way that if this was a test, this would help out the people who haven't really memorized it all that great yet. But I want to make sure for sure that you know what inversions are. So because I'm not going to be grading your own test, I should ask you harder questions, right? Just give you figure base or chords to analyze. But we've done exercises with that. So let's do this now. So we have the chord symbol above, and then the root, not the root position, we have the bass position down below. And so you're just going to simply write in the appropriate chord in the appropriate position, and then you're going to get rid of this and replace it with the correct figure bass. And that's all you got to do. And, oh, it says respect. We want respect to C major. Typo. Okay, so that's going on there. Now this one says, write the 4 chords in measure 17 with an open voicing. So this is a test, so whatever, you should know what this means. So take the 4 chords from here and write them again over here, only using open voicing. And this open voicing must be across the grand staff and keep their inversions. So all that stuff should make sense. If this doesn't make sense to you, you need to go back and do the exercises. Write the formulas for the 5 7th chords we talked about. So there are 5 7th chords that we see commonly in tonal harmony that we sort of spend a little more time focusing on. We had exercises on them. We talked about the ways to build them. And there was a series of formulas that I did right when I introduced 7th chords to you. You should be able to recall that on command, especially after having built so many of these 7th chords and labeling them in inversions. So you should be able to pound this out pretty quick. But yeah, I want you to be able to write that here. Now we have build the following. Now up here, these are triads. So those are triads. Down here, these are 7th chords. So same exercises up there, only now we have 7th chords. So build these 7th chords. That's it. Build a possible chord from each. Okay, so here I changed the key on you because I've been giving you the key of C quite a bit, but that's just so that you have some sort of an anchor and grab the materials. And but later on down the line, you're going to need to get fluid with keys and be able to go through any scale. Right now, it's not. I want you to understand the ideas of building chords and things, so it's helpful to work in a similar key a lot of the time to build up a foundation. That way, when you go and you have to start worrying about other keys, you have like something to grab onto. You know, I know how it works in the key of C. I just got to move that over to the key of D, that sort of thing. So intimacy with scales is very important. But here we're in the key of D, so a key signature change. And we have a bunch of bass notes, and you are to write a possible chord given the figure bass. So we did exercises with this. Should not be anything new. And let's come up here. These are a little more intense, and you should be able to recognize what each figure bass means and go ahead and write out the chord. On these, did I want you to write a cross staff? I believe I do my answers cross staff, but yeah, I'm not specific, but I'm looking for cross staff work. You can keep it all on one staff since I didn't specify. But on this one right here, we need to be across the staff, meaning, 2 notes on the lower, 2 notes on the upper. Or you could have more than 2 notes, but we just need to get used to seeing chords across the grand staff because you're going to see that. It's like what we breathe in theory, so you have to be able to do that. Okay, 36, true or false? This that easy. Read it, determine if it's true or false. Okay, we sometimes call the simplest way to write a chord the blank. And there's actually a couple answers that could go here. You can look on the answer key, see if yours is there. If yours seems reasonable, then okay. But it really should be one of the ones listed on the answer key. We'll talk about the answers in the next video, of course. And then we have name the 4 basic triads. I should really say, when I say basic triads, I mean the 4 qualities. But you'll see stuff like this. It's sort of a little ambiguous. So if you write something intelligible here, I'll give you credit. But it has to like make sense here. So there's a number of things that would not get credit. So I'll show you. You'll see the answers in the answer video. Create the diatonic chord set for E minor without the use of a key signature. So again, using accidentals. But on this one, when I say the diatonic chord set of E minor, I'm talking about the natural minor scale. The thing about asking a question like this is actually we generally consider the diatonic chord set for a minor as a minor mode. And we're going to be talking about that in the upcoming videos. But here we're looking for just the key signature. It's stuff we've already talked about. So just so you know, this is sort of a prepper to get you ready for a bigger idea. And then down here, compose a small piece using at least 1 7 chord and using inversion. So I expect there to be inversions and a 7 chord. And if you write something that makes sense and sounds like it could be music, which objectively would be pretty hard to not do, you could put it here, and that's you get credit. But if you don't, if you like, I don't know, I'm sure I'll see if I were to grade a test like this, I'm sure weird stuff will pop up here, or people simply wouldn't write anything, or they'd write things that make no sense. So you'd be surprised what you can get back on tests. But anyways, I want to see inversions and at least one use of a seventh chord, and that's it. You don't need to use all the measures. Just write something that makes sense. A small piece sort of is like, it's not really a piece, more of just like a line, but whatever. And that's that. That's the whole test. So you should be able to do this in under an hour, no problem. You should be pretty quick at all these things. All these things stack on top of each other anyways. They're all related. And so it should be pretty easy. And I just realized I'm missing the Y in harmony. Harmony. Wow, that was embarrassing. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Subscribe. I look forward to hearing your comments on how you do in the answer video, and have a blessed day.